folks. Good evening. Welcome to Reach Across Live with your host, Paul Francis. I do hope this finds you all well and that you are in a good place to be. Basically, over the next sort of week or two, I'll be doing shows like this until we build up, and then obviously can get across into doing the shows the way they used to be in the past. A big good evening to Julia. Welcome to the show, my darling. Good to see you. And I see that Lynn is trying to message me at the same time. So let's have a look. I'm just going to tell her that we're on live. Okay, so I'll just send that message back to her. Otherwise, Julia, it'll be a one-to-one with you and me, which is not a bad thing, to be honest with you. Christine, good evening. Davy Jones, welcome to the show. Good to see you all. Thanks for being here. I do hope this all finds you well. You can hear me. Good. Angie, welcome to the show. I'll just let everybody else sort of get themselves together as we make things happen. I'll just move the camera a bit so that makes me look a wee bit more like I'm in shot. So as we build the show back up again, it's good to see you too, Davey. Thank you for being here. As we build the show back up again, I would love to answer questions. So please post questions to me. It actually makes the evening it gives me more focus. Good evening, Paul. Hope you're feeling better. Lots of love and healing sent to Johanna. Thank you so very, very much. That healing sent to Johanna is needed more now than ever. I'm feeling a lot better. I will say I'm a lot better. Thank you so much for asking. I went through. I went into the. As you know, we set up a new business, the Travelers Rest Inn at Treverian, and I was in there sort of overseeing it being put back together, and I thought I was ready to go back to work. The following day, my body told me the complete and utter opposite. I wasn't ready to go back to work. Oh my gosh. Do you see anything worrying for me in the near future? Davey, why do you ask questions like that? I'm not trying to be condescending or negative or anything like that, but I want to teach. So through Davey's asked me a question. Davey's question is, do you see anything worrying for me in the future? Right. And I want to ask Davey, why do you ask questions like that? So there's a reason for doing it, and it's not to be condescending, it's to teach you all. I'm going to teach you all something, so pay attention. Now pay attention and be alert to what I'm going to be teaching, because it's really important, okay? So once again, Davey's question is, in the near future, do you see anything, where did I've lost it now? Where's it gone? Oh, I know why. It's because the cursor was over it and it blinds it. Do you see anything worrying for me in my near future? I don't know. I just feel like this for a few days. Right. Gosh, Julie, no, we're not in our 30s anymore. In February just passed, I turned 61. So I don't feel 61. A lot of people don't say, well, you definitely don't look 61. Well, I don't feel 61. But this, a ruptured colon takes more out of you than the rupture, because there was a lot of sepsis and there's a lot of really nasty stuff going on. So it took more out of me than I anticipated. Anyway, I'm trying to stay calm and keep up positive energy. Okay. Let's rewind that back a little bit, okay? And Davey, thank you. First of all, thank you for being honest. Thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for your question. And I genuinely mean that. I'm not being condescending. I really, really mean that, because in being able to help you, you and I both help everybody else who's going to be watching this now and later on as the days and weeks go on. So, Davey, first of all, I said to him, why do you ask that question? And he says, I don't know. I just feel like this. Right. Let's look at that particular concept before we do anything at all. I feel like this. Okay. So, number one, there would be a trigger for you to be able to want to feel like that. Okay. So, you've got a trigger. So, you have an emotional upset in your life, or you have a situation that's going on around you that's causing you to be worried. Okay. So, but here's the thing, right? Let's, irrespective of the excuse as to what's causing you to think that way, here's what's happening. As you're sitting there thinking about negative energy, as you're thinking about negative scenarios, thinking about negative possibilities, you're giving that energy off. You're actually pushing that energy out into the ether and into the universal energy. You're actually sending out a signal of negativity. Now, what you give off as energy, you attract as energy. Okay, like attracts like, and that's an absolute. Okay, so don't try and come up with a sort of a reasoning. Oh yeah, but and anybody who says yeah, but to me, you instantly, if you say the word yeah, but, I switch off like that instantly. Boom, off. So usually people say yeah, but they're totally and utterly focused on the negative. All right. So what you give off as negative energy, you attract as negative energy. Okay. Then the second little mistake there, Davey, and we're going to fix this, by the way. We're going to fix this, right? We're going to fix this after I've covered it. The second bit that was the sort of second catalyst for me to focus with you tonight is I'm trying to stay calm. Okay. I'm trying to stay calm and keep positive energy thoughts. Right. You don't try. You either do or you don't. Okay. There's no try. There's no, okay, I'll give 3 positive thoughts and then 1 negative, or I'll give 3 negative thoughts and 1 positive. No, you either choose positivity or you choose negativity. Okay. Now, which one's going to bring you towards your goal? The negative? Is the negative going to bring you to your goals, or is the positive going to bring you to your goals? All right. Now, what I need you guys to write down, and what I need Davey to write down, is this: a problem is a situation that has an answer. That's it. A problem is a situation with an answer. Okay. Find the answer, problem solved. It's when you start bringing emotional energy into it, it's when it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay. And not only now do you have to deal with the initial problem, you have all of that negative energy to deal with as well. Julie says, I'm nearly 60. I'm nearly 60. Geez, Paul, I don't feel anything like I'm nearly 60. Well, that's good. That's good. I think it could be loneliness and unnecessary drama from people. I always feel someone's angry or contempt. No, I think you're making that up, Davey, in all honesty. I genuinely think you're making that up. I think your mind is so focused on negativity that that's all you can see. It's all it's kind of like you're trained. Now, I'll give you a scenario which will point out will give you my point of view. Okay, so Davey, I need you to answer me really, really quickly. I need you to answer me really fast. Davey, what car do you drive? Okay, so answer me really quickly, please. So I've just got the cards out, as you can see, all the cards, and there's the backs of them. I'll need to hold them up there. There's the backs of the cards, so I can't see any of the card from this angle. So Davey, come on, you don't drive. Oh, God, of course that would be the answer. Okay, so all right, let's put it this way. So when you've got a car, when you've got into, like, okay, maybe a parent's car or a friend's car, and you're driving along in a car, and you are looking out the window as you do, then you start seeing other cars just like the one you're in. Okay, so if for my instance, in my case, it would be, as I'm driving along in the car, I see other cars that look like mine. Okay, so what that means is, because I'm focused on what I have, I'm seeing only what I want to see. All right, and I feel that is the case with you, Davey. Okay, so what we got to do is quite simply this. All right, We have to do a little exercise, all right? And I'm going to teach you that exercise tonight. So, Davey, without thinking, I want you to give me the first number that comes into your head. Go. First number. Go. Don't think about it. Just give me the first number. Quick. Write it. Just click the number. Send it into the chat room. Go. First number. Go. While doing that, Sue, welcome to the show. Lynn, welcome to the show. I knew you were going to say 4, by the way, because that's what came into my head. You are getting one. You'll understand what I'm talking about, right? Lovely to see you, Sue. And lovely to see you, Lynn, Julie Sharp, Julie Evans. Lovely to see all you all. Positive vibes all the way from me, Paul. Absolutely. So when you give off positive energy, that's what you attract. That's what you attract. You're a magnet to positivity. So number 4. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 4. Right. And you saw me shuffling them. I was shuffling them away, right? You saw me do it, alrighty? And I picked the 4th card. And it's actually brought up a line that you actually put in the chat room. You're not going to believe this, all right? I know you're not going to believe this. You're going to think I went through all of these cards to find this particular card that literally a sentence that you wrote in the chat room. You ready for this? Look at that. Now, you wrote that sentence in the near future. Look at that. How is it possible out of all of those cards that I could pick that card in the near future? All right. You have to stop your modus operandi. You have to stop your way you're thinking. You have to stop. You've got to get rid of this. Everybody's against me. Everybody's thinking about why are they thinking about me? Why are they looking at me? And that's paranoia. And that's literally the symptoms of paranoia. So what you have to do is think outside that box. You have to start thinking about along the lines of I am good enough. I'm really good enough. I am good enough. I deserve positivity. I deserve all great things. I deserve that. I deserve to have a really good bank account. I deserve to have everything that I want in life because I deserve it. Yeah, no, I deserve it. And what's happening is you've been fed a line of guilt. You've just been fed so much guilt that guilt is your modus operandi. Okay, it's how you think, how you work, and how you live your life. But you really, really must do a thing called reprogramming. First part of your reprogramming, and I did say I would teach everybody how to do this. Your first part of your reprogram is let go of the past. The past cannot be changed. You can't change it. It's happened. And even if you have a Back to the Future car and you go right back 5 days before tonight, it will still happen because you'll be thinking about it already having happened. Do you understand what I mean? So let go of the past. Negativity is connected to situations of the past, but you're making it relevant to the future. So you got to let go of that. Second thing you must do is accept that you are good enough. You have to stand there and understand, I am good enough. I am worthy of great things. I am worthy of everything that I deserve. I deserve a full bank account. I deserve a beautiful house, a beautiful partner, holidays 5-6 times a year. I deserve a great business. You deserve all great things, but only you can convince yourself of that. Okay. Wow. So I turned over the first card. Once again, you saw me shuffling the cards. I turned over the first card. Are you ready, Davey? Boom. I turned over the first card, the very first card on that pack. I turned it over. There you go. If it doesn't flow, let it go. So it's dead easy for everybody. By the way, Gupta, welcome to the show. It's dead easy. Everybody can pat you on the back. Everybody in the chat room, everybody that follows my shows around the world can all pat you on the back. Oh, Davey, we're with you, mate. We're with you. We're with you, mate. Davey, you can do this. You can do this. Absolutely. Doesn't mean diddly squat unless you're prepared to make it happen. right? That means what? You can have cards and letters from people all around the world, but if you're not prepared to do what's necessary to make your life better, and you'll hear me say on a regular basis, if it's to be, it's up to me. Now, there's a gentleman around me at the minute who is above you, and he's coming in on dad's energy line. So he's coming from dad's side of the family. And there's a Joseph, there's a George, there's a J or G sounding name that they want me to acknowledge. And there's a birthday anniversary coming up, and either they're talking about April or there's a connection to April that they want me to acknowledge. All right. Gupta, you say that to me every single time you come on the show. You're missing your dad. Okay. Your dad will get pissed off with hearing that because he's not missing you and he's around you, but you're not acknowledging the fact that he's around you. Okay. You keep saying, I'm missing my dad. If I put you in spirit, looking back at your dad, how often would you want to hear that from him? Think about that. Go back to Davey. Davey, if it's to be, it's up to me. Okay, you really must get up and acknowledge what it is that you want in life. Most people don't even have a clue about what it is they want. Okay, they go along with their lives. They go along with it, like, you know, it's just a tickety-boo. They're a little boat that's dropped onto a river and it's floating off into the future, and they have no clue about what it is that they want and where they're going. Okay, you have to have an absolute focus about what it is that you want. I have this older gentleman in spirit who's around me at the moment. He's telling me to talk about April as being significant. He keeps shouting. He doesn't give me the month as in the numbers. He says April. Okay, so he's talking about April as being significant. There's a birthday and anniversary in that month, or the name April is significant. Okay, Lawrence, like an L sounding, Lawrence, Louise, Lucy. That kind of a name is being shouted as well in the background. And somebody crosses over with a blood-related illness because they're telling me to talk about the arrows being significant. So either they cross over with something that affects the bloods, like leukemia, or something that affects the bloods and blood pressure, but there's something to do with the bloods that they recognize. All right. They're telling me to talk about September as being significant for you. Okay. They're telling me to highlight September for you as being a very, very significant month. And in that month, it feels to me like a revamp, a new start, a big beginning, a whole fresh chapter in your life. But this is already known. So it's already been planned, or it's already been underway, or there's been a focus about making something happen in that month that they want to draw my attention to. You have somebody around you at the moment, and they're telling me to do the mirror. So when I see the mirror, there's somebody around you at the moment is literally just it feels like negativity to me. They just exude negativity. Like I would call them a psychic vampire. They're always negative. They're always down. They're always miserable. Always whinging and whining. People like that. Okay, when I see the mirror, what they've just shown me, it means it's called the reflective technique. So when they're sitting around you and they're pushing the energy off, you reflect it back to them. You just imagine a mirror between the two of you, and they're seeing their own reflection in the mirror. So what they're giving off as energy reflects back. Okay, you need to start saying to yourself, with people that are around you, that you don't deserve this negative energy, and you're reflecting it back. You're reflecting it away. Okay. Also, Davey, I would start looking at your diet. All righty, because I'm getting a drop in either vitamins or minerals with your system. So you're not either eating correctly or you're not drinking correctly. Something along those lines that I'm supposed to get you to improve on. All right. There's one of my an absolute sweetheart. John Fuller is in the house. John, good to see you, pal. Big love back to you, mate. So, Davey, you need to start with the basics of life. What's the most basic of life? Okay, I'm asking everybody in the room. What's the most basic of life? All right, everybody's thinking, it's breathing. Okay, without that, there ain't any life. Okay, so the basic of life is breathing. So centralize your thoughts, centralize your emotions by just breathing. In and when as you let it go, see what I just did? Drop your shoulders, drop your arms, let everything flow out. Okay, let it flow out of you. But every time you breathe in positive energy, positive light, strength, ambition, progress, motivation. You're bringing in all of that. And as you're letting go of the cobwebs, the stress, the strains, the worries, the whinging and the whining. You're letting go of everything that doesn't serve you, right? Get rid of it out of your life. Your dad, I don't know whether this is dad or granddad who's in spirit, but is claiming that some of this was affected them in the same way. And they want me to talk about either a country residence or they want me to talk about like a farm, something like that, because they're showing me what I would see as farming country kind of visions. Go, all right, I've heard this, I heard it, okay? Go to the ocean and sit by the ocean. Go to the ocean, sit by the ocean, and do what I'm telling you to do, which is just breathe and let go and let the energy of that ocean cleanse and clear. All right. Hopefully that helps you. Thank you very much for being here. Sue says, water. Water's, yeah, we need water to live. Well, we can last a little longer without water than we can without breathing. Think about it. Sue, good to see you, darling. It's really a pleasure to see you. Thank you for being here tonight. Guys, don't forget, it's important that you like the show, but it's equally important that you share the show. Share the show with your friends and family who are linked to your Facebook right now. Share it out there. Pump it out with your friends and family and tell them to come on live and watch this dopey Irishman talk to you guys. Gupta says, can we connect to our spirits in meditation? Gupta, have you come to any of my shows before? Have you been watched my shows before? I know you have, because you ask me the same questions and I tell you exactly how to connect to your friend and family every single time you ask. But I'm going to do it again nonetheless. I always say at one of my shows when I'm on stage that I'm open to all questions. I may have heard the question before, but I'll answer it because I may not have heard it from you from the first time, or there may be people in the audience who've not heard me answer it before. So, Gupta, how do we connect to our spirit people, spirit friends? Primarily, we sit quiet. That's a big thing that the human body has a problem in doing. It takes more practice than you would possibly know just to meditate, okay? Because we will start a thing called mind noise. Okay, mind noise is when your brain starts going and starts thinking about 1,000 things that you might have done, things that you should have done, things that you got to do. That's called mind noise. So the hardest part is getting past that and teaching the body that it has to relax. Now, weirdly enough, your body knows how to relax because you go to sleep. Okay, when you go to sleep at night, you go into different levels of what's called dream state or energy states. So you have REM. You know, you've got alpha, beta, theta, delta. So different states of consciousness. So your body knows how to relax. But what you've got to do is learn how to control that. Right. So basically, when you sit quietly in a chair, now a lot of people do a thing called psychometry. Right. Now psychometry is very effective, very effective. What you could do is you could sit there with a picture of your dad, a picture of your mom, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, cousin, friend, husband, wife, whatever, okay? Sit there with that in your hand and just breathe and ask them to draw close, okay? Just say, hey, I really want to hear from you. Draw close, but you have to be open to how they draw close, okay? That takes a little bit of practice. Just relax. Sit quiet and have patience. Breathe. As you breathe in a positive love, strength, light, and direction, and you're releasing the negatives and the worries and stress and pains, you're actually getting into a position where you are open to connection. Okay? Now, Paul, what about being open to connection and people or energies connecting with you that shouldn't be there? I have a big laugh at that one. Reason being, Big question, and I want every single person who is watching my show tonight to answer. Okay, I want you all to answer. Even if you're watching it later, if you're watching it on YouTube, if you're watching it on Facebook, if you're watching it on whatever, I want you to answer this question. Your friends and family who are in spirit, would they have protected you while they are here? Okay, that's a question. Now, the answer is either yes or no. So your friends and family, your dad, your mom, your grandparents, aunts and uncles, cousins, friends who are in spirit, would they have protected you whilst you were here? The answer is yes or no. So you go ahead and answer that. Paul, you are an amazing teacher. I have constantly referred to your book, The Safe Way. I feel so much lighter, so much positive, so much more positive. Thank you. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so very much. That's very kind of you to say, Jules. I really appreciate that. So answer, come on, guys, quick. Would they have looked after you? Would they have protected you whilst they were here on the earth plane with us? So far, only 2 people have answered yes. Come on, guys. Which wouldn't they protect you? Okay. Now, and there's another part to this particular question, and this is a thing called spiritual politics, and I'll come to that momentarily. Everybody is answering yes. Of course they are. Everybody's answering yes. So what makes you think they're not going to protect you in spirit? I will walk into any place. I will walk into the most haunted places. I have no problem with that, because I know that my mom and dad are right beside me. I call upon them to help me when I'm working. I've called upon my grandparents. I call my aunts and uncles. I have a bishop in spirit. I have my guides, my angels. I know they're going to protect me. So I have absolutely no issues in dealing or working in an open meditation state, because I know they're around me, protecting me, surrounding me in a bubble of light, surrounding me in a bubble of protection. So you have to understand and believe totally they're going to do exactly the same. Not, I hope they do. No, fact that they're going to. And I do mean fact. Okay, no possibility of that not being the case. All right. So that's going back to what I said to Davey. If you don't believe in yourself, don't expect others to believe in you. So you must believe in yourself. Okay, like I said, everybody can send you a private message and say, Davey, mate, you're okay, you're superb, you're going to do this. But that doesn't mean diddly squat unless you believe it. The same with you, Gupta. All right? Listen, I can tell you here and now, okay, if I was in spirit and I was looking back and I kept hearing my mom or my beautiful loved ones here, my wife, my children, going, oh my God, I miss my dad, I get pissed. All right? Because what you're doing is they're not living their lives. I say it at the end of every show bar none. If you want to honor those who have crossed, then be the best you can be here and now. Okay? Honor them by being the best you can be here and now, and not drifting in a lavender of despair and whinging and whining, because you're not honoring them by doing that. Okay. In fact, what you're doing is dragging out the process of their crossing. Okay. Yes, we should go into mourning. Absolutely. Because mourning shows an honoring the person who's crossed, but we should not stay in mourning. Okay. That dishonors them, because that takes you away from living the life that they helped bring you. So you're dishonoring them by, they brought you that superlative gift of life, and you're going, oh, I miss him. No. I honor my mom and dad by getting up every day, being the best dad I can be, and being the best person I can be, so when the day comes that I join them again on the other side of life, I can look at them straight in the eye and they can say, we're proud of you, son. Well done. That's what motivates me. Okay. I know they're going to be around me. I know they're going to help myself and Johanna get well. I know they're going to protect my children, my 3 daughters and my son. And I know they're going to protect Johanna's children as well. I know that. So let's draw across the line of spiritual politics. All right. A lot of people say to me, "No, Davey's just put something up there. Not my father-in-law, though." There you go. There you go. There you go. Davey, I have just spent half an hour of my life teaching you something, and you instantaneously, bang, straight back into negativity. You have to change your modus operandi. Okay. You have to change the way you think and the way you look at life. Otherwise, you're just going to be bollocksed. All right. Because you're going to attract so much negativity, you won't be able to get out of it. Okay. Stop thinking negatively. Okay. It doesn't matter how a person treated you. What you should be doing is looking at that person and said, right, what did he teach me? Okay. If you were treated badly by somebody, no matter who they are, you turn around and you go, right, what have I learned? I learned I will never treat anybody else like that. So they've taught you a lesson. All right. But if you keep doing stuff like this, not my father-in-law, then that's what you've got. You're thinking negatively. What did I tell you about negative energy? It attracts more negative energy. Get your head out of your ass and start focusing on where you want to go in life and how you're going to make this life work with you and for you. And then you're going to be in a position where you can then pass that on to other people. You're going to help other souls walk their way through light, because you can say, hey, I've been where you are. I've been where you are, and I was taught this. Let me teach it to you. So everything isn't a challenge. Sometimes they're gifted to you. Okay. Everybody's, it's the whole thing about, everything's got to be a challenge. I love challenges and blah, 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 blah. No, sometimes gifts are given to you because of situations and scenarios that you were able to help other people. It's called karma, and it's paid forward. So when you're helping people out there, and sometimes great things come along and you go, oh, wow, okay. Well, sometimes that's just a gift. You didn't have to get it by, having to climb mountains and walk over deserts and stuff like that. No, sometimes just being in the right place at the right time to receive a gift is the right thing. So be open to that. Be open to how your mom and dad, your brother, your sister, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, how they're trying to talk to you. Okay. I've been dealing with a lot of business deals lately. And as I was dealing with these particular business deals, I'm actually constantly looking out for signs. Like, for example, when I went to sign for a car the other day, I looked out and there was a little robin just hopping around outside. And I went, got it. This is the right deal. Okay. Because that's a sign that my mom and dad are going, yep, this is what you should be doing. Okay. So it doesn't mean I won't sign for something just because I can't see a robin. It doesn't mean that. But I look out. There's the reason why I went with this particular car is because my dad had one. And I went, well, good enough for my dad, good enough for me. Lavender Cactus says, before mother crossed over, she said, I can do more for you on the other side than I've done here. And that is so true. Yes, it is very, very true. But here's the politics scenario that people think. He or she were a git. They weren't that happy. They weren't that nice here. They blah, 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 blah. And they automatically assume that that person on the other side is going to be of the same energy. That is not the truth. It's not real. It's not right. Okay. Now, let me give you a for instance. Like, what are you going to think and feel the moment you cross over? That's quite a question. Tell you what, respond to me right now in the chat room. Okay, don't forget to like the show, by the way. I haven't seen any likes. Like the show. Don't forget to like the show. Don't forget to share the show. So put in the chat room. Have a wee think. Just close your eyes for a second and have a think to yourself. What are you going to think about the moment you let go? Okay, and you're crossing over through that light and you start seeing the shapes of people. And these people are all the friends and family that you thought you'd lost. They're coming to meet you. How are you going to think? Come on, right in there. How are you going to think? Let's go for a wee bit of a sort of a spiritual life lesson here. Let's go for that. George was your father-in-law. Okay, so they're acknowledging that name. Okay, so there is lessons to be learned there, Davey, that must help you. All right. So stop thinking negatively. Oh my God, I pray for healing for the negative vampires. And I have said, I said to someone, I'll pray for you, and it completely throws them. Denise, hi Denise, good to see you, darling. My mom passed when I was look at that, blah blah blah. Yep. Love receiving signs of Julie Evans. My mom passed when I was 9. I look at it, I was blessed. She came here to have me. That's the gift. Denise, what an amazing way to think. Phenomenal. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So everybody's saying joy and love. I liked it earlier. I'd run to them and hug them. I will have tears of joy. Rebecca K. Hi, Rebecca K. I've just subscribed. Well, thank you very much, and welcome to my show. Good to see you. So what you're just doing. So literally, just keep on writing. And what do you think? What do you think you're going to be thinking? The moment you let go of the physical, you pass across into the light. You start seeing the shapes of people, and these people are your friends and family who you thought you'd love. What are you going to be thinking? So put a wee note in there in the chat room. What do you think you will be thinking? Come on. Right, let's take it back 2 or 3 days before you cross. There will be a fear factor. Okay, there will be a fear factor. Oh my God, oh my God. I know I'm coming to the end, because we have a thing called nesting. Okay, when we start approaching the end of our days, there will be a thing called nesting. Most people who have crossed, weirdly, had all of their life situation taken care of. All of their banking was done, all their insurances were done, blah, blah, blah. So there's a nesting process that happens. But as we cross over, we don't think about all the things that went wrong in our lives. We don't think, oh, that freaking git didn't pay me that money back, or I never got this done, or I never got that done, or blah, 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 blah. You don't think about that. And I refer to that as the politics of life, okay? We do not carry the politics of life with us. The only thing we carry with us is the love for the people we have here on the earth, okay? And then we get that enhanced by all of the love that we thought we had lost by all of the people who crossed over. So I can guarantee you, nobody is thinking about negativity, all righty? This is why I have a big issue with a lot of these idiots talking about, shadow people and demons and all this BS. So let's have a look at some of the wonderful messages that I got. Davey says, "I'll have tears of joy." Yes, you will. Actually, you probably won't. You won't have any tears. There's that negative thinking again. You won't have any tears. I can guarantee you that. You'll be like, "What the hell is this?" And then you'll start saying, "Oh my God, Mom, Dad, Mother, your grandma." You'll start seeing people, and they'll just crowd around you, and you'll be in a place where we have no description. We have no description of. It's like being inside love. It's not having love. Having love. Cuddle of somebody you love. It's like being inside that again, and then multiply that by 1,000 times. On the 2 NDEs that I had, there is no descriptive for my emotion. I can't verbally reiterate how I felt. There's one thing that I felt was I was home. That's the one thing I felt. Okay, so I know here, this earth, where we are right now, this is college, this is university, this is school. Okay, and then we get to learn these lessons, and amazing lessons. Now, this is why I do what I do, because I want to teach you all to get the most out of life, get the best that you can out of life, be the best you can be. So you get these lessons and you bring those lessons back. Now, you can have a lot of people around you in your life that have maybe not treated you that well, okay? But you are still learning lessons from those. Even the darkest moments of your life, you will be learning lessons. Learn the lessons and bring those lessons with you, okay? Gupta says, Lynn says, I'll be a big family reunion. Oh, by the way, Lynn, a certain young man came to me yesterday, okay? And I'll just say, you'll know who I'm talking about. A young man came to me yesterday and he said to tell you he's just about the same height as his dad's ear. That's what he wants you to know. Okay. I saw my dad in dreams many times. I felt wonderful and safe. So why are you missing him? You see what I mean? Why are you missing him? Why would you be missing him? If he's there and he's telling you everything's fine, then why are you reverting back to a morning state? You're not honoring him when you do that. All right. Rebecca Kay says, I will be happy when I see all the spirits I love. I thought you'd be happy here. Seeing here tonight. Absolutely. And the funny thing about it is, on my second visit upstairs, I argued with them. I had an argument. I actually argued with them. And that I learned a lesson from that as well, because I was very, very ill. I was in Trelisk Hospital and I went upstairs. I remember coming out of the body because it went like I was like a feel, like a pop, like I was getting out of a bubble. And I remember looking down and seeing my body. And I remember thinking, oh, this isn't good. But I remember looking down, and next thing I was in this room, which was just dark. It was all dark, just dark. Okay. But it smelled like chocolate. It just, I could, this amazing smell of like Aero chocolate. And then I could see shapes of people all around me. Okay. All these beings around me, but I felt nothing other than love. Nothing. No fear, nothing. And then I was getting people touching me like that, just literally touching me all over, like just gently touching me like that, from my head right down to my toes, just touching me like that. And then this one energy stepped forward and said, okay, Paul, it's time to go back. And I argued with her because I said, nah, I know I don't have to go back. I know you can't make me go back. If I don't want to go back, I'm not going back. And she said, Paul, it's time to go back. And she said it so gently and so sweetly. Paul, it's time to go back. Like that, just like a little glee in her voice. Time to go back. And I told you, I'm not going back. And I don't want to go back. And I know you can't make me. And she went, Paul, pump, like that. She hit me right in the middle of my chest. She went, you've got work to do. It's time to go back. Her voice changed slightly. And I'm thinking, every time I hear it, I'm thinking, that could have been my mom. You know, only she would have used different language if she was here on the earth plane, shall we say. And down I went. Anyway, so, but here's the lesson I learned. The lesson that I learned was, oh my God, when I was up there, I didn't miss anybody down here. And I didn't want to come back. I didn't miss my babies. I didn't miss my Rosie, Brandon, Maddie, Maya, Faith, April, Johanna. I didn't miss anybody. And I was like, oh my God. And I think the reason why was because they knew I wasn't going to be staying up there. They knew you were coming back. And they told me that I'm going to be here for some time. I will do ups and downs, but I have work to do. And I believe this is why I do what I do. Rebecca says, I found you live in a group on Facebook. Well, thank you very much, Rebecca. Thank you for being here. Please continue to share it. And thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate you doing that. Maybe we can get you on the show with me and we'll do some joint live work. It'd be really, really cool. That's such a wonderful world spirit is. But Davey, this is equally a beautiful and amazing and wonderful world. You must see it from the same perspective. Okay. Julie Sharp says, oh, my dad was terrified of seeing my dad. I remember laughing at him, telling him to grow a pair. That made him laugh. Yeah, because they are not, you know, the harsh people they were when they went up. They changed absolutely. John says, absolutely agree with that analogy. This is where we learn and experience all the amazing physical feelings we can't have once we leave the physical. And that's why life is so very precious. John, 100% agree with you, pal. It's his birthday in 2 days' time on the 6th, right? That'll be why he's showing me he's grown, okay? The terrible feeling I got after waking up takes me a few minutes to realize he won't be back. You can't think like that. It's the physical that that stops. The energy, the physical, this stops. The energy that, or the spirit or the soul of your dad carries on. It doesn't die. Energy cannot be destroyed. Energy can just change form. Okay, you have to change how you think, because I know he's not happy. Okay, he's not happy with you staying in the morning state. You have so much to live for and so much more to do. Oh, by the way, there's a journey coming up for you. Okay, it's not a long journey. It feels to me like into either another state or another county, but it's one nearby where you live. I would say 45 minutes at the max. But there's a journey coming up that you will have to take, and either the feelings they're making me feel right now is that you already are aware of this particular journey and it's connected to the family in some way, but you must make it happen. There's somebody in the family who's either dealing with diabetes or recently diagnosed with diabetes. They're showing me, because they show me a bag of Tate and Lyle, which is sugar to me. Okay, that's what that means. Gupta, I don't know whether he wants me to talk about the 11th as being significant. So the 11th month of November or the 11th of a month is significant, but I'm going to give you the 11th card, just so as you're aware. Okay, they're shuffled, right? So I haven't pre-chose it or anything like that. Sad I got to keep saying that to people who just, oh, you just set this out in advance. I don't. So let's go. 11 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, I don't know who the J is, Gupta, but the sound that I'm hearing, it sounds like it's either Jill or Jane, a name like that. Okay, I can be off by names, completely okay with that. I can be off by names, but I won't be off by the initial or what it sounds like. All right, so there's like a name, it sounds like Jill or Jane, or that kind of a name. All right, let's have a look at the card. Okay, so whatever it is that you're planning, now is not the right time. Okay, now is not the right time. So whether you were contemplating about making a decision, now is not the right time to do it. Alrighty? And once again, just as I delivered that message to you, November come up again, or the 11th came up again. Alrighty? I would love to stream together, says Rebecca Kay. Yes, let's do it. Let's make this. I love working with good, great new people. I love working with people who actually know what they're talking about. I've had the opportunity to work with people who don't. But again, what did I learn from that? I learned a lot from that. So it's not about what went wrong, it's about what I learned. Now, Rebecca, I have a feeling that your journey is going to change again. Now, don't be surprised if you've been fighting against a style of delivery, but it's about to change. Okay, I kind of get the feeling that someone brought onto your on how you work. You should work like this. You should work like this. But deep down in your psyche of psyches, you knew that wasn't necessarily how you'll do things. Okay, the change. Either there's a change in direction happening for you in that regard, or you're about to go through what I refer to as a change of guard. Alrighty? I remember the first time I had a change of guard. Now, for everybody who doesn't practice psychic abilities or mediumship, will not know really what I'm talking about. But I had done a lot. I've been working since I was 5 years old, and I woke up one morning and I went, "Oh my God, it's gone. It's gone. Oh my God, it's gone." There was no feelings. It was like I was just in a void. I was like, "Oh my God." There was a slight clarity of thought, though. I remember that. My thoughts were really clear. And I went through that day thinking, oh, maybe I was only supposed to have it for a short time. Maybe I've done what I'm supposed to have done, you know? Anyway, so it was the end of the second day and the start of the third day that it went whoosh, like that, right back again. And so I went in and did a real deep meditation and a real deep sorting out, kind of like, crossing the T's, dotting the I's, putting the commas in the right places. And I realized I'd had what is referred to as a change of guard. So energies that had been working with me and had got me to where I needed to be with them stepped out. And that's where that void feeling came. And then a whole pile of new ones came in to start bringing me through the next level of my development. I've got the same feelings around you right now, okay? But there's a little bit of old school mediumship that's going to be coming around your way. Now, I'm not necessarily mean you're going to do what I'm about to say. It's just what I see the symbol. I know what that means. I'm seeing tea leaves, okay? Now I call it old school psychic, old school mediumship. So there is a definite feel of old school mediumship, old school directional, old school stuff that's coming your way. So don't be surprised if you don't start working with crystals again, or working with divination, or working with psychometry. Some of the old school stuff is kind of coming back into play with you momentarily. If you really pushed me in a corner and put your hand in my throat and said, tell me what it is, it's got something to do with flowers and color. Just remember I've said that. Flowers and color. Okay. Right, let's have a look at what everybody is saying. So Rebecca said, I would love to do some stream together. Let's make that happen. Gupta is going, oh yeah, you're aware of the connection. Okay, his brother has diabetes. Right, then that shows you who's around me. Okay, Gupta. The J can be the name of the city where you were planning to go. Yeah, yes. I'm not going to argue with that. Absolutely. Rebecca's going, okay. But trust me, Rebecca, if you were driving along in third gear, you're about to shift into fourth. Trust me. You're about to get a swift kick in the tush, in a good way, in a really, really good way. Where are we? Do you see positive results from my son, Paul, having lots of scans and tests at this time? I'm calling upon the Archangel Uriel, who works with me for medical practices and dealing with medical situations. And he's saying 1 out of 3, just 1 out of 3 will have something that just needs a bit of a focus on it. I genuinely don't feel, oh my God. I don't feel that. Okay. I just feel right. Okay. This is kind of showed up, but we're going to deal with this by doing that, and that, and we're okay. Okay. So, and that's the Archangel Uriel, okay, who's bringing that through to me right now. He's also putting a shield around you. You might feel a weird energy feeling around you right now. He's putting a shield around you, and that's a shield of protection, okay. He's telling me to talk about the green as being significant, whatever the green is, okay. But the green to me, means heart and love chakra. That's what that means to me. But there's something to do with the green as being significant, okay. Hello, Paul. Any messages from my cousin Tim? I'm really finding it difficult to read tonight. First of all, Paul Freed, welcome to the show. I will be open to your cousin. If he comes through, I will more than happily share any information. Whoosh, you're a medium. Yeah, I know the feeling. From your cousin Tim. Right, I'm going to be open to that, to Tim, Paul. I will be open to Tim, but I'm having an energy, but I just want to read the rest of what I'm looking at here, because I don't know whether what I'm getting is for you or what I'm getting is for somebody else. John Smith says, hi, Paul. John, welcome to the show. Hi, right back at you. Thank you for being here. Guys, don't forget, it's really important to me, really important to the show that you like the show, especially on YouTube. And don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, all free of charge. John Smith says, can I ask a question? Absolutely, totally. Please feel free to do that. Paul, I don't know. I'm not being pulled away from you, so I'm going to say, I'm going to say, I might well be with you, but please stick with me for a second. Now, I have an energy that's not necessarily claiming to be connected to Tim, but is around you. And I'm getting like a 1, 2, 3 crossing. Like they're here 1 minute, they're there the next. So it feels to me like a bang, like that. So this is either an accident or incident that causes how they cross. Okay. This person wouldn't have necessarily believed in what I do, but did have a religious vein running through them. Okay. A kind of thing like, you go to church just in case, feel about this. I wouldn't have said absolute, total, and utter devout, but would have attended church kind of fairly regularly, just, you know. But it feels to me like I'm here 1 minute, I'm there the next. It feels bang, like that, and I'm over there, okay? In addition to that, Paul, I'm seeing the American flag, okay, which means to me that somebody crossed over that had a military background. Okay, so there's a military connection here they want me to acknowledge, and there are 2 people stepping forward with the big C. So there are 2 people who cross over with a Cancer crossing. Okay, I'm hearing the name. I don't know whether I'm hearing Jade, Jake, or like a J with a vowel at the end of it. I can be off by names, but I won't be off by the initial what it sounds like. And don't automatically assume that the name I give you has crossed, because they will be, to my referencing, for me, Paul Francis, it means who they are, who's with them, or please say hi to. So don't automatically assume that the names I give you have crossed over. And I'm hearing the name Alice being shouted out in the background as well. Okay. I'm literally hearing the name Alice. And there's a lady standing here, not what you would call tall, okay, but she's standing and she's holding like wooden spoons crossed over like this. So she would have been well known for her cookery skills, okay? She'd have been well known for her baking or cooking for the family. She would probably be known for the person who would have handed out some discipline as well, okay? It may not have been once or twice you'd have felt the back end of that wooden spoon. But I feel like I'm a matriarch, and I'm kind of like, I keep everything in check, but I'm also well known for my cooking skills. Okay. There's an old sounding name here, like Olivia, like an old sounding name. Okay. Like it sounds to me like Olivia or name of that nature. They want me to talk about it. March or the 3rd of a month is significant here. Okay. March, of course, we're in March now, or the 3rd of a month is significant as well in there, Paul. Okay. Paul, I'm supposed to tell you, be a little bit, okay, it's not for anybody, and Spirit don't do this, by the way, just so you understand. We don't tell you how to live your life. You choose how to live your life. Spirit has a way of laying things out in front of you. Now, if you pick up on those things and you work with those things, great. If you ignore them, okay. But I am being told to tell you to be a little bit more conscientious about a couple of people who you have around you at the moment. A little bit more, shall we say, focused on how they do things. Okay. I don't want to say mistrust, because I'm not feeling that, but I'll just say a little bit more cautious about who it is you have around you. Okay. Hopefully that helps you. Just had a change of the guard, says John. New energies, main man is still here, driving me nuts. Oh, he will never change, because he's your master guide, John. He will always be there, but you will have different guides come in, and they will have left you alone to do a bit of growing as a person, as you develop yourself as a person through life, lessons here, experiences there. And then with all of those new experiences, new lessons, they'll come back in again and kind of mold you into where you need to be going. And probably why you were sent back to be in front of me. I'm not going to say, Paul, by the way, Paul Freed, I'm not going to say I'm getting energy connected to Tim, but any of the information that I've shared with you, and you can relate to that, please take it as that's being the case. Right, where are we on time here? We've gone, wow, gone on an hour. Gosh, that flew past. John Smith, yes, of course you can ask a question. Or are we going down here? John Smith says, someone is threatening to file a court case on me. Do they seem to take an action, or is it just an empty threat? Here's the thing, John. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to allow the psychic connection to answer this particular question. So just so as you can see, look, I'm not preordaining the cards. Okay, I'm not preordaining them. There you go. Third card in. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Right. So I don't know whether it has anything to do with that subject. Okay. But that's where your focus needs to be. Okay. John, I don't really feel that there is substantial, shall we say, I don't want to use the word evidence here, but I don't feel there's a substantial gathering of honesty. That's probably where I feel. I don't feel there's a substantial gathering of honesty. And to be honest with you, if you are absolutely and totally adamant of where your point of view is, I wouldn't worry about it. Okay. However, I do see a change of area for you. Now, I don't know whether this is job related or home related, or it's time to move related. Okay. But I do see a change. I see a sign. I literally see a for sale sign. And to be honest with you, that is one of the best signs you want me to be sharing with you, okay? When I see a for sale sign, it means a change, a positive change in your life. Change of job, change of house, change of direction. But with it comes an immense amount of positivity. Literally, an immense amount of positivity, okay? John, I also see that there's an older female, but she's coming in on mom's side of the family here. She's jumping 2 above you, so it's a mother, grandmother connection, because there's a pink line, which means maternal connection, okay? But there's a grandmother connection here. There's a heavy chest-related issue, so I don't know whether she had a lung cancer or whether she had pleurisy or pneumonia, something along those lines, but there's a heavy chest and feeling in my chest, like I can't catch my breath. But I'm also I'm being told to tell you that sweet smell that was around you only a few days ago was her trying to get your attention. Okay. There's a name Joseph or Joe name here to be acknowledged. Like there's a J-O or a Joseph sound to be acknowledged. Remember, when I hear names, who they are, who's with them, or please say hi to. Okay. They want me to acknowledge a crossing that was very, very young. So the person wasn't here for very, very long, weeks, months at most. Okay. So I get a feeling of a young energy on the other side of life who's been over there a while to be acknowledged as well. And the name Peter, the P-E name to be acknowledged. Okay. Literally focus on yourself. That's what I'm literally being told to tell you. Just focus on yourself. Don't worry about anything else. All right. Paul, you're very, very welcome. John, hope that helps you. A friend whose funeral I went to last week, bang, gone. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's go down and find out who else is talking to me. He was bad, I was good. Right. I'm not even gonna, I can't pronounce your name again. Heidelgo. Is that right? Hi, welcome to the show. Your grandfather, says Paul. Yep, I have a grandfather, I have granddaughter, Alice. Mom was a fabulous baker, and we'd fight to lick the spoon. Yeah, I remember those days. All right, let's go on down. Let's catch up. Sometimes we want someone to come, but other spirits do come in instead. That's right, Rebecca. I always say to people who are coming to me for a one-to-one, I always say, yes, definitely think about the person that you want to go through and talk to them in your own time. Even bring something with that belongs to them, so I might be able to boost that energy with psychometry. But any mediums out there tell you that they can bring through whoever you want, they're lying. All right, mediums have no control about who comes through. Okay. I always say it's not like McDonald's. We don't pull up the window and go, we want that one. Okay, that's not how it works. If they are making connection with you, very often somebody who's, for example, say you lost a husband or wife, or a mom or dad, or a grandparent for that matter, somebody who's very, very close to you will not always come through first, because if they do come straight through, very often the person receiving the information will shut down, boom, like that, because they'll go straight into mourning again. So usually they kind of stand back, they send little bits of information in through other people, and then eventually work their way forward as you're getting ready to receive data. So there was something that I was writing the other day on my Patreon channel, is that you the receiver, or the sitter, as we refer to them as, you should be in charge of the reading, not the medium. Okay, I have sat in medium readings where they just bullnose over people, and they go, you will understand that, you would understand that, and that's bullnosing people, and I don't like that. Okay, you're in command of the read, especially if you paid for the time. You're in command of the read, so you just say, oh, stop, go back a bit. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no clue about what you're talking about, because the medium is there as a mediator between them and you, hence the name medium. Mediator in between the two. Okay, so if you haven't picked something up that they're trying to get through to you, it's down to the mediator to try and get that information corrected. All right, so take control of the read. You are in charge. All right, remember that. All righty, Linda, hi, good to see you. Thanks for being here, my darling. A great show. Back to work for me now. Have a great night. Paul, make sure you come back and join us again. Thank you for being here. John Smith says Joyce. Right, gotcha. I understand the P name as well. The question was around the P guy. Gotcha. And thank you for answering your question. John, you're very, very welcome. Like I keep saying, just focus on you, dude. Don't worry about anything else, okay? I was telling Davey and Gupta earlier, if you think in a negative vein, okay, you're giving off negative energy. You're literally pumping negative energy out because your mind's focused on negativity and things going wrong. With what you give off as negative energy, you attract as negative, because like attracts like. So switch it off. And here's something that I want you to say to yourself over and over, and write it down, stick it on your screen as a screensaver. It doesn't matter. There's nothing to worry about until there's something to worry about. There's nothing to worry about until there's something to worry about. So don't focus on it, and don't waste all of the energy and waste your time and waste your strength over something that most likely won't happen. Okay, focus on you. Get yourself into a place where you need to be, where you're stronger, and make things happen for you, my friend. Alrighty. We all get what we need, but not what we want. Oh, not necessarily, Sir John. We get what we want if we're open to receiving it. Okay. We all get what we need, definitely, but we also, on occasion, get a few little things to teach us lessons, and those lessons may not always be pleasant. It doesn't necessarily mean we wanted it, okay? But if you want something badly enough and you literally are convinced with the universal energies, then you'll receive it. If you want it badly enough. Rebecca says, that's what I say. Think about them and ask them to come in. However, it may be a grandpa instead of a mom. Yes, absolutely. Can I ask you what you meant by a substantial gathering of honesty? It's your point of view, your perspective on the situation and on the problem. Look at it from an honest point of view, okay? Because let's put it this way: if you were in a court and I was your lawyer, I would be trying to protect you with honesty, with fact, okay, and not hearsay or subjecture. Okay, I'll be dealing with fact, strength, and honesty, because those are facts that can't be changed. They're real, they're truthful. Okay, so come from a point of honesty, then, and don't worry about anything else, right? And as my wife constantly says to me, one story's good until another one's told. Okay. Julie Sharp says, lots of love and healing to Joanna. Always good luck with the health and wealth in your new venture. Well, we bought the pub, or we took on the pub restaurant. I mean, it's something I always wanted to, always through my life. It's funny, when John said a minute ago, we get what we want, but not all, we get what we need, but not always what we want. When I first started my, shall we say, my working career, not my scholastic career, my working career, I was a classically trained chef. And I worked my way so fast through the ranks, I ended up being an executive chef, to the point where it wasn't about the art of creating food anymore. It was just about numbers, and it became a business, and I lost the will to do it. But I always down the line said, I really would love my own restaurant again. And my dad always said, I would really love a pub. So he went into spirit. When I sit and think about this, I get shivers and I get emotional, because he went into spirit. He passed over and he went to spirit. And things happened in my life to get me to where I needed to be. And then I was offered this pub that we own now. It's a beautiful pub restaurant. I mean, the views are just spectacular. You stand outside at the nighttime, there's a carpet of stars in the sky, and you can hear the waves gently lapping on the beach. It is beautiful. All righty. And local people who use the pub, so what's referred to as locals, came up to me and they went, I knew your dad. I used to sit here and chat and drink with your dad. And I was like, nah, it's not possible. No way you could know my dad. And they went, Padraig, right? That's your dad. I went, yeah. Well, my brother lived about a quarter of a mile from the pub, and my dad used to come over and visit him. But while my brother would be out during the day or at work or whatever the case may be, my dad would go up to the pub, sit with the locals and drink with them and chat with them. And I never, ever knew that. So when I sit and think about, when I walk into our pub, our restaurant, I look around and I go, I know you're here, Dad, and thank you. Now you own your pub. You've got your dream, Dad. And I've got my dream because I've got the restaurant. And now my baby, my little baby Maya, she is a chef in that restaurant. So I did get my dream, and my dad did get his dream. Okay, so if you're focused on that, if you're focused on what it is that you want, if you believe in, and with all of your mind and all of your heart and all of your essence, that you are going to get what you want, you will get it. Okay, but if you go, I really want a Porsche, I really, really, really want a Porsche, and you're saying to the universe, come on, universe, I want a Porsche and I want it before August. Okay, but back here, you're thinking, I know I'm not going to get it. I know it's pie in the sky. I know it's all wishful thinking. Well, guess what? You've just literally watered down that energy. You've just made it harder and harder to get that Porsche. Okay? You just made it more difficult. Don't put roadblocks in your way. Don't put barriers in your path. Be totally and utterly focused on what it is that you want. It doesn't matter what it is. I remember having a chat with my beautiful daughter, Rosie, and I saw this house and I went, I'm going to own that. And she said, Dad, that's 500. This is, oh my God, Rosie's 30 now. So she was about 12, I think, around about the time. And she said, Dad, that's over £500,000 house. And I said, isn't that funny? You see the cost, yet I see the house. You see the figures and I see the beauty. So what you need to do is eliminate the reasons why you can't have it and focus on the reasons why you can and should. Okay. We are quarter past the hour. So if you guys have got any more questions, please, please, please put them to me because I've got a little bit of time left. John says, got you. That's John Smith. John Fuller says, in reading situation, I meant sometimes it's the same thing. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. You hate text. Well, we'll have to get you on the show with me then, my pal. We'll have to get you to come on the shows live with me in the next few weeks when we're doing them again. That's amazing. And Maya looks amazing in the kitchen. She does. I've not seen Maya so happy for many, many years. She is literally beaming from ear to ear. She loves being in the kitchen. She loves producing the food, and she produces some seriously good food. Oh, by the way, I'm going to give you guys a little link. So TravelerSrestpub.com. There you go. And you guys can actually see it. You click on that link, you'll see our restaurant, our bar, our pub restaurant. It's beautiful. Please, before you all clear off and leave me, if you've got any more questions, then do share them with me. I'm more than happy to help you, more than happy to answer the questions. I'll tell you what I'm going to do in the meantime. I'm going to call the angels in and I'm going to ask them to give me 2 cards. Okay, they're going to give me 2 cards. And I'm going to give you the opportunity. Don't guess the card. Be drawn to one over the other. Alrighty. I have been sensing someone around me recently and waiting for a sign of who it is. Paul Rowland. Paul, how brilliant to see you again, my dear friend. Please meet my other friend as you look up the top up there, John Fuller. Paul is a whiz, okay? He reminds me of Doc Brown from Back to the Future. He's a brilliant sense of humor, but the tech he comes up in with paranormal investigations is wow, mind-boggling. Paul, you sense people around you. I've got a feeling you have someone with you who's intrigued. Okay, they're intrigued because 1 and 2. Right, there's 2 cards here. I've just literally done 2 cards, so I'm going to put these down. I'm not going to touch the cards again until we turn them over. There's something like either a Victorian house or a kind of a house with a lot of experience, a lot of years behind it, and multiples of floors. But there's someone that's around you that has intrigue. Nothing negative, no worries, no stress. Hasn't followed you back to give you grief or anything like that. Just intrigued. And there's something to do with either science or a scientific connection that this person was involved with. Okay, so if you went to somebody's house and you did a paranormal investigation at somebody's house, and the person who lived there was connected to science, there is something about that I'm getting the feeling of. Okay. And I don't know Paul Rowland, by the way. I don't know if the name Alistair means anything to you, but I'm hearing the name Alistair being shouted in the background here. And the 25th is significant for some reason. So the 25th, it has a connection here. Right, so I've got 2 cards here, 1 and 2. Please, please, please don't guess the card. Just close down for a moment or two. Just breathe, and whatever number is, you just say, please lead me to the right card. Whatever number floats up, go for that. Okay, but don't guess it and don't second guess it. Just go with it. So Julie Sharp has said number 2. Julie Evans has said number 1. Yeah. So John, Paul is going to be coming down to the Southwest very, very soon. And I've no doubt that we'll be getting him into the pub for a bit of a chat and maybe even a wee bit of an investigation because the place is haunted. Well, being 16th century inn, gonna be. Christine says number 2. Sue says number 2. You've been really quiet, Sue. I was hoping you were still here, but you've been in and out. So come on, what are you drawn to? Are you drawn to a number 1? Are you drawn to number 2? But there's obviously there'll be a message in that card, and that message is coming from the angelic realm, not from me, already, and not from your loved ones. It's from the angelic realm, who's trying to help you or will help you with a situation, or maybe a subconscious question you're sort of thinking about over the last couple of days, couple of weeks. So as time is zooming on, guys, we've got literally 8.5 minutes left. So let's get down to the cards. So far, Julie Sharp has said number 2, and that's how she speaks, by the way. Sue Vindicum, I love that name, has said number 2. Christine has gone number 2. Lynn has gone number 2. Sue said, I've been so interested in all of the readings that they've been great. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you for that. Thank you for your support. And always thank you for your support. So come on, John, where are you pulled? Paul, where are you pulled to? Is it 2, 1? Where are we going? Where are we? And Rebecca, where are you? What card have you been kind of leaning to? Where are we on time? We have 8 minutes left, guys. Let's go. Paul Rowland says, I'm drawn to number 1. My gadgets have said number 1. Marty, number 1. When you see Paul live on the show, John, you'll understand what I mean. He looks just like Doc Brown. He's an absolute rock star, and he's got a phenomenal sense of humor, and his knowledge is second to none. Okay. Thank you for backing me up, Paul, on my post the other day regarding that my house is haunted crap. I have never seen so much absolute. Johanna hates me sitting with her when those shows are on, because I say to her, that guy Ian is such a prat. He has no clue about what he's talking about. I am an ordained exorcist. It doesn't exist. I know. I had a bishop in my family. So Paul and John are both gone to card number 1. So here we go. Even if you haven't had a chance, if you had to step out for a bit and you're going to come back and watch the rest of the show later, before I pick the cards up, try and be feeling whichever card that you are drawn to. So if you have gone for card number 1, you have gone for, ooh, do you hear that? Forgiveness. Forgiveness. Now, what does forgiveness mean, Paul? That's a good question. Forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean for or to someone else. Okay? Yes, of course, it can mean that. To forgive a situation, to forgive a wrongdoing, to forgive somebody who maybe been a bit too harsh with you, blah, blah, blah. But it also means forgiveness of self. Okay? Forgive the wrongdoings that you may have encountered, that you may have been a part of. Forgive the bad situations. Forgive the bad or really not so clever decisions that you made in the past. They're in the past. Okay? Don't carry that negativity with you. Forgiveness means forgiveness of self as well as others. Okay? If you chose card number 2, like Christine and Sue and Julie Sharp and I did say Christine. Who else chose number 2? Lynn. Then focus. I need you to focus, because you can't stop. Keep going. Keep pushing. You're nearly there. You're going to get there. You're going to get exactly what it is that you want. Lynn, I'm supposed to say that to you. You're going to get what you want. It's going to happen. Okay? Don't stop. Don't give up. Here we go. Steve Russell says to Paul Rowland, I think you know me. Ladies and gentlemen off the planet, we have literally 4.5 minutes left. I do hope those cards, so card number 1, forgiveness, and it does mean of, situations and people and scenarios, but it also means of self. So situations and ideas and maybe not so phenomenal decisions that you made of the past, forgive it, let it go, okay? Learn the lesson, bring the lesson forward, but don't carry negativity with you. And if you chose card number 2, don't stop. Keep going. You will get there. Okay. You're very, very close to getting there. Okay. Thank you. The time has shot past, so therefore, when that happens to me, it always makes me feel like we had a good night. I do hope you had a great night. Please, please, please leave the comments, definitely in the YouTube. Please don't forget to subscribe, and please don't forget to share the show with your friends and family, and come and join us. Although I aim for Thursday nights, I could well be on this Thursday night, but if I can be here, I will give you a heads up on the day to say, yes, I'm going to be live tonight. But if not, I will definitely be back here on Tuesday night next week. But watch out for pop-ups. Things are starting to get balanced at the restaurant now, so I'm getting a little bit more time back to myself. And in which case, I may do things called pop-ups again already. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support, and thank you for your continued energy that is getting me back to full health, and of course with Johanna as well. Don't forget to communicate, appreciate, and validate. What does that mean? Communicate to the people in your life that are important to you. Appreciate everything you have and the people in your life, and validate that by telling them. Okay. It is very common in our lives in our house, to tell each other we love each other. That's very, very common. We don't look at that as being, I love you too. We just, openly, Maya won't go to bed at night without giving us a hug and a kiss. And that's very, very common. We know that that'll happen. Why not make that happen in your life too? Make it a point of telling the people who are important to you just the reasons why they're important to you, so that a medium never has to do it for you. Take at least 15 minutes out of every day, at very, very minimum, 15 minutes out of every single day, just for you. Turn off your phones, turn off your house phones, turn off the internet. Just sit, relax, breathe, and take that moment or take those minutes back for you. Thanks for being here, guys. This wouldn't exist without you guys. So I really do mean thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And until I see you again, be safe, be strong. And remember, our friends and family in spirit are trying to talk to us all the time. Just be aware of how they're doing it. Until see you again, good night. God bless. See you soon.